Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Ritu Poddar, head of mutual funds, joining in as well. Ritu, welcome to the show. Ritu, my first question coming to you right now over here is with regards to the November data that has come in for the mutual fund industry. What is the AUM trend currently indicating?
Good afternoon, Hero. First of all, so yes, if we look at the current data of the month of November, so this is the first time the industry has touched 30 lakhs gross mark. So this is a very first time, and we all knows this is just because of market is moving up. So that is one of the main reason which we can see here that the industry AUM has touched across 30 lakh cross AUM in the month of November. So if we'll compare, from the previous month, so it's 6% up we have seen. So at the same time, if you look at the last month, market also has moved up in similar way. So that is one of the reason. And another reason, if I look at overall the industry, so there is mostly two things which take up your entire AUM. One is mark to market. When market goes up, then what kind of a capital appreciation we can see. And second one is what kind of a inflows we are getting into. So overall, inflows, if we'll talk about, that is not that great. So overall, I would say the entire contribution just because of the market is moving up. So that is the purely because of the mark to market we have seen.
Right. So, if you're seeing the AUM growth right now, there is one factor that we are pointing out overall is that in spite of this AUM growth, the equity category has seen a drastic net outflow, I think little over 13,000 crores.
Correct.
It's the single highest net outflow recorded in the equity category during the past 2 years. What does this indicate? Because last 4 to 5 months consecutively, we've seen an outflow.
Yes, Hiral, correctly mentioned, last this is the fifth consecutive months where we have, seen a equity outflow of around 13,000 crore, and this is the highest outflow we have seen in last 5 months.
Hmm.
So one of the reason is definitely the valuation which we are seeing at this point of time. So, at this point of time, we have seen that vaccination announcement for COVID also has been done. And we are seeing, if we will talk about the overall the macro and the economy, so that also is improving somewhere. So that is the one part. And despite that, if we'll see the valuation of the market, that is, there is a disparity between these two is going between. So that is one of the reason people, investors are trying to book profit at this moment. And I really believe that this money definitely, once they will see a good correction or a little bit, fall in the market. So definitely, we'll see that the similar kind of a money we can get back in the equities as well.
Right. So, is it right to say, Ritu, that the mutual funds have almost pulled out little over 30,000 odd crores from equities in November, and this is mainly on the back of profit booking? And this outflow trend probably will continue unless there is a correction that comes in for the markets for them to re-enter.
Yes, Hiral, because we have seen, lot many investors, at the 13,000 level, they were like, we need to book profit at this point of time, and look forward, a little bit correction, so probably, yes, if we see this rally continue going, so definitely it's like, maybe the fear of missing out kind of a feel, investors might, think of, and then they can, invest at the higher level. So again, that is one of the, probably we can see the trend. But going forward, I believe, yes, most of the investors are waiting for the correction, and in the last 2 3 months, actually lot many HNI and ultra HNI categories, clients actually reshuffle their portfolio. So that reshuffling also has happened in last 2 3 months, and that is one of the reason, we have seen, good outflows from equity funds.
Right. And amongst the different categories, as we've been talking about the equity categories where we've seen a major outflow, what's the trend looking like with regards to the debt category, as well as if you look at the hybrid and the closed-ended debt schemes?
So overall, if we will talk about, the subcategories within the broader categories,
Mm,
so on the equity front, if you look at, then, we have seen across all categories, we have seen the outflow in the month of November.
mm,
Uh, so that is one, and within category, if we will talk about, then large cap is the one category where we have seen the highest outflow.
mm,
And then we have seen the multi-cap category, and multi-cap category we have seen outflow. The reason is that, there is a talk, or there is a, SEBI approval has come up to start a new category called Flexi Gap. So that is what, investors were little worry about, whether what will happen in this, particular scheme within that particular category. So probably that could be one of the reason, in the outflow, in particular category. Else also we have seen, other categories also has seen an outflow and equities. uh, a lot many new fund offerings are coming. So if we'll talk about the October month, so we have seen a very good, collection in NFO, and that was one of the reason that sectoral and thematic fund actually, showed a very good number. uh, and this is on a equity side. And if we'll talk about the debt front, so debt front, I believe, definitely overnight and liquid is one of the, category which, investors, use that particular category to park their money.
mm,
But overall, if we talk about the debt fund, so we are seeing a very good inflows in a shorter end of the curve. Uh, Somewhere, in the such a low interest rate scenario, where investors are, moving up the duration curve for higher yield,
mm, mm.
higher surge in the yield. So that is one of the reason we are seeing, good inflows in the shorter, or shorter end of the categories kind of a thing. So that is on the debt side. Hybrid, as usual, continuously on the aggressive hybrid side, we are seeing, the categories continuously bleeding. So that is the, case we have seen in the month of November as well. While other categories also, if we'll talk about the hybrid, we have seen, outflow in other categories as
Right. And with all of this, if you see the SIP contribution, that is also pretty much on a declining side. What is that indicating?
So SIP number, if we'll talk about, so SIP numbers this time it's showing 7,300 crores, against 7,800 crores in the month of October. So a major reason behind this is, in the month of November, if we see that the last 3 years was a holiday. So the thing is, like, the SIPs which used to trigger, on the last 3 days, that has not happened, and that will added in the month of December. So probably this would be, a number which we would like to, track even in next 1 to 2 months. If this is, particularly one of the case, because of that the number is, such low, or hit it that kind of, 7,300. So definitely this number, we probably will track very closely, and most probably in next 1 or 2 months it will give us some kind of a trend.
Right. And from here on, what's the kind of market anticipation that you're picking up over the last mutual fund data that has come in over the last 2 to 3 months?
Pardon, Hiral, can you just repeat your
Yeah.
question?
Ritu, my question is that taking all of this data into consideration that we've been picking up over September, October, November,
Yes,
markets have constantly now breaking record highs, at least this month.
correct.
Uh, from here on, how do you see it performing, taking the data into consideration? Because whatever up move we are seeing in the equity markets right now is mainly on the back of the FPI money that is coming in into the equity markets. But now it's the time where the domestic participants start entering as well. So is that suggesting us some trend for the markets?
So yes, see, in the last 3 4 months, whenever I mean, we have started seeing a rally in the Nifty Sensex. Yes, definitely, but at the same time, we have started seeing a rally in the broader market as well. So where we have seen a good rally in the mid cap, small cap indices as well. So this was like across. This was not like a very concentrated kind of a rally we have seen, but now I feel see the trend in the mutual fund equity numbers, then this number probably shows like somewhere, investors are waiting for correction, and they have just rigid their portfolio, restructure their portfolio, and book their profit at, 13,000 around kind of a level, by thinking that they will get a good opportunity to invest or, re-enter in the market. So that is the overall, trend we can see.
Absolutely. I think that's the trend that we've been picking up. And anything else, Ritu, that we probably would have missed out on our conversation right now from the November mutual fund data that needs to be highlighted?
So overall, one is the folio is number of folio is one of the very critical numbers, which gives us a sense, how retail investors are participating, how many new folios has been opened. So
Hmm.
that number, if overall, if this month we will see, so that number is not very encouraging
Hmm.
numbers.
Hmm.
So after 77 months, we have seen, first time we have seen that reduction in folios. So that is around 40,000 crore, 40,000, folios we have seen that they have closed in the month of November. So this is definitely not a very good indication. So probably, once, we'll see the sync between the economic activities along with, the market movements. So probably I think we might see, uh, uh, good numbers in terms of folios.
Right. So that's something we should be watching out for as well. Thank you, Ritu, so much for joining us on the show and getting us those numbers dissected and to help us understand the trend from here on. Thank you so much, participants.